You know how sometimes the smallest gesture can just snowball into something huge and amazing? Well, this story is all about that. How a simple offer between friends accidentally sparked this incredible, generous cycle of giving. It all kicks off with,
Yeah, just a small, everyday offer. The kind of thing you or I might say to a friend without even thinking twice. But this little moment, it was about to light a fuse on something way, way bigger.
A really big idea. An idea that would take a single dinner plan and completely transform it into a lasting legacy of kindness. And it all got started in a car, of all places.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We've got four friends, they're in a car, and they're trying to figure out where to go for iftar. That's the evening meal to break the fast during Ramadan.
So they're driving along, and one of the friends, Zayed, spots an ad for a fancy hotel's iftar buffet. And I mean, it sounds incredible. The ad is promising a huge feast. We're talking over 40 different dishes. The price tag, 2,000 rupees per person. It sounds like a pretty epic way to celebrate together, right?
So, getting swept up in the moment, another friend, Hamza, says this. Just a really generous, heartfelt offer to his friends. The whole meal, he says, is his treat. Such a great gesture.
While everyone else is cheering, Ahmed, the one who's driving, he gets kind of quiet for a second. You can practically see the gears turning in his head as he starts doing a little bit of math. And this is the number he lands on, 8,000. That's for four friends at $2,000 a pop. Now, it's not really about the money itself, it's about what that number represents, all the potential packed into one single evening. And that gets Ahmad thinking. And this little moment of quiet calculation, it leads to the turning point of the whole story, a simple suggestion that was about to change absolutely everything.
This is the question that's rolling around in Ahmad's mind. Is the absolute best use of $8,000 to have one super fancy meal for four guys who, could probably afford it anyway? Or could that money do something more? Could it create a totally different kind of impact, a different kind of joy?
So he starts picturing something else entirely. Not just a one-and-done kind of celebration, but something more like a steady, continuous stream of giving. He suggests they pivot from a single event to a whole series of them.
So he turns to his friends with his new idea. He basically asks, hey, instead of one of us treating the rest for 8,000, what if we all put in 8,000 each? What if we pooled all of that generosity together and just see how much we can multiply its power?
And with that one question, the whole vibe in the car just shifts. This isn't just about someone buying dinner anymore. It's become a collective mission.
And you know what? His friends don't even blink. They immediately get it. They see the power in the idea and they're all in. Right then and there, in the car, they all chip in, totally united in this new purpose.
So, with a brand new plan and a shared goal, Ahmad does something really symbolic. He steers the car away from that fancy hotel downtown and starts heading toward the outskirts of the city, to a place where their pooled money could make a much bigger splash.
Their new plan was just brilliant in its simplicity. First, they find a small, local hotel in a lower-income neighborhood. They go in, they talk to the owner, and they explain their idea. With the money they pooled, they set up a community meal service. Then they put up a sign outside announcing that affordable meals for both suhoor, the pre-dawn meal, and iftar would be available for anyone who needed one.
So, the plan is officially in motion. But what's the actual result? What was the real payoff, not just for the community, but for the four friends who started this whole thing? Let's just break it down. The contrast between the two paths is pretty stark, right? The buffet plan would have been great for four friends, for one night, a fleeting pleasure. But this new community plan, it helped an entire neighborhood, provided meal after meal, and created this deep, lasting happiness that they all got to share.
And believe me, there was zero regret about missing out on that buffet. Instead, the friends felt this incredible sense of joy and satisfaction as they watched the community come together because of what they did.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The feeling they got from doing this together was something a $40-ish buffet could never, ever compete with. It was a happiness that was richer, deeper, and just meant so much more.
So, what these friends created, almost by accident, is what you could call a generous cycle. It's that magic that happens when one person's impulse to give gets multiplied by a group, and it becomes this amazing force for good that just keeps inspiring and funding the next act and the one after that.
And that kind of leaves us with a question to chew on. This whole thing started with a pretty simple choice: one big meal for a few people or a whole lot of smaller meals for a community. It really makes you wonder,
Where are the opportunities in our own lives to turn a single act of kindness into a powerful cycle that just keeps on giving?